Namaskar, Jai Jagannath. Good evening, everyone. I am Ojal Jain from Indraprastha College for Women, DU, and I am pursuing BA in Political Science and Sanskrit. And today, we welcome you all to this special lecture organized by Dakshi and Epoch Envoys. But before we initiate our webinar, let us start our session with Saraswati Vandana. I request Prachi ji to start with the Saraswati Vandana.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिर्देवे सदा वन्दितां सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेषजाड्यापहा निशेषजाड्यापहा.
Thanks a lot, Prachi ji. So, before we start the session, let us know about Epoch. Epoch is a forum devoted to amplifying voices from the academic world that challenge conventional thinking and bring fresh perspectives on society, history, and human consciousness. Over the years, we have had the privilege of hosting eminent scholars such as Professor Emeritus Mark Nathan Cohen, Professor Harbans Mukhia, Professor Ali Anushahar, and Dr. Kurt, and among many others. Now let's know about Dakshi. Dakshi is a movement committed to fostering awareness, dialogue, and action around sustainability, heritage, and cultural consciousness. With its emphasis on ecological and social responsibility, Dakshi works to bridge tradition with modern challenges, creating meaningful platforms for education, engagement, and empowerment. Today, with the help of our collaborators at Dakshi, we are deeply honored to welcome Mr. Niranjan Jena, who will be speaking on the theme Environmental Consciousness in the Vedic Corpus. Dr. Jena ji is a distinguished scholar from esteemed Vishwa Bharat University. His expertise lies in Vedic studies, Sanskrit literature, and Indian intellectual traditions. He has visited various countries and has presented papers on both international and national seminars. He is also a recipient of multiple awards. Among them are Ajka Karamveer, Vidyasagar Award, Sanskrita Shastra Nidhi, and many others. He is a lifelong member of Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute, All India Oriental Conference, where he has chaired the Vedic section, and Nikhila Bhanga Sanskrit Seva Samiti. He is also a member of Global Sanskrit Forum. He has published various books and edited several journals as well as volumes. His research explores the intersections as well as volumes. His research explores the interaction of ecology, spirituality, and ancient Indian texts, demonstrating how the Vedic corpus contains profound reflections on humanity's relationship with the natural world. His work has been influential in highlighting the ecological wisdom embedded in ancient traditions, wisdom that speaks directly to our contemporary concerns about sustainability and climate change. In this lecture, Dr. Jena will guide us through the environmental consciousness present in the Vedic texts, unpacking how rituals, hymns, and philosophies framed a holistic worldview in which nature was not a resource to be exploited, but a sacred presence to be revered. Before we begin, a few reminders. Please keep your microphone muted during the session to avoid any interruptions. And we will have a question and answer session at the end. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat anytime. Now, without any further ado, it is my great honor to invite Dr. Niranjan ji to deliver his lecture. Sir, the floor is yours.
ॐ रीचं वाचं प्रपद्ये मनो यजुः प्रपद्ये साम प्राणं प्रपद्ये भागौ जमसौ जमयि प्राणापानौ ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। It is my pleasure that the members, students, knowledge seekers of epoch efforts and the members of Dakshi have arranged this webinar. At the very outset, I just apologize that due to some technical problem and some gap of communication, I could not because I was ready from 5 o'clock, but I thought that it is at 7 o'clock. But anyhow, it is. I just congratulate to all of the Vedic students and the seekers of knowledge, and it is my privilege that I have to explore that on that environmental consciousness in the Vedic corpus. So this is my special field of study, where I have contributed a lot and more than 30 papers I have contributed on this particularly in this field, like ecology and environment, ecological thoughts in the Vedic literature, or ecological awareness reflected in the Veda, and that ecology and environment. Just I am focusing on the topic, that is environmental consciousness in the Vedic corpus. On this topic, as we know, the Vedic seers, or our ancestors, predecessors, they are worshipper of the nature. The nature is consist of 5 elements, 5 gross elements. As you know, Khiti of Tej Maruta Bema. But these non-living beings are deified and personified. What is the purpose? What is the intention of the deification and personification? Let me clear that the purpose of deification and personification to the natural elements, non-living elements. What was the purpose? Because you know that we are getting help, or we are surviving through these natural elements directly or indirectly. We sustain, we survive. Simply, if we get help from any person, then we just show our obligation towards that person. In the same sequence, the Vedic seers are very much obliged towards the natural elements who have directly, indirectly contributed for us, for our survival. The deification of the particular natural elements or non-living beings. Just I give an instant that fire. We worship fire. Fire is a non-living element. And why we pray that what is the use of fire? The very concept, when we get up from bed, we just search for fire, to kindle fire, to cook anything, to boil water, or whatever we do. That the need and necessity of that fire. That's why the Vedic seers, they have deified the natural element fire, which is the fire is deified and personified and prayed in the first mandala of the Rig Veda, the first sutta. The Agni is deified. In the first mandala of the Rig Veda, in first sutta, Agni is deified and prayed. They are deified, not only deified, but they have treated as our family members, like father, mother, brother, like this. The very first mandala, that is the Rig Veda, first mandala and the first sutta, that Agni is deified. And that ninth mantra is stated like sa naha piteva sunave gne supayanu bhava sachasva naha swastaye. O Agni, you just take care of us like a father takes care of his children or his family members as guardian. So that's why Agni is the non-living being, but his contribution for us is very unique. That's why Agni is deified. This is it is just we the common people, they know the uses of Agni, but if we see from the spiritual point of view, that Agni has the first role. That's why the Vedic roles, the Vedic seers, they have deified and they have praised, they have invoked to Agni for their whatever their needs to get the day-to-day things or objects, they essential in their day-to-day life. Like if we remember the very definition of the Veda, like Ishta Praptihi Anishta Pariharayuhu Alaukikam Upayam Jo Vedayati. Ishta Prapti, the fulfillment, the desire of the goal of our life, to achieve, to obtain, or to get fulfillment of our life, or whatever the things or beings, whatever useful for day-to-day life, we are praying to the elements, or we are deifying them, or we are personified them. This is the very purpose. And so for the ecological or environmental concept, the term, the thought is concerned. You are, if we think that we are a part of the entire universe. So for ecology is there. So ecology, that is, as we know, this is ecology, that word is Greek word, that is oikos and logos, and Oikos is home or house or dwelling places or habitant. What we are abode, where we are staying. And logy is the study of science. And the study of that ecology, it is the interrelationship between the human being and with its surrounding natural beings or that is elements. The whole globe, the universe is an abode. Tatra Vishwam Bhavati Ekam Nidam. In Upanishad, it is mentioned that when we see the whole world is, we are the under the one nest, and we are the past part. So in this way, the ecological thought or environmental thought, we should be aware about our relationship, the interrelationship between human being and other beings, and the way of behavior, human behavior, because we are the man is the central part of that your total human, that is your total globe, and we are the part, and man is the center, because man has the rational feelings, communication power, brain, which is not possible for other beings. So man has the vital rules. How a man behaves with other elements, the human attitude and behavior towards the nature. Nature is consist of 5 elements, and the nature's impact on human being, that is man factor. Here, so for the environmental or ecological thoughts or study is concerned with that interrelationship between human being and their its natural elements, and human behavior towards nature and nature's impact on human being. That is very important. Whether human behavior is that supporting to the nature, or nature is not tortured by human behavior. In this regard, if we see, human behavior is seen of 2 types. One is submissive, another is that dominating. The submissive nature, which makes balance with the natural elements or nature, and dominating attitude, the dominating attitude that harms or makes imbalance. So the very aim of that human, that ecological balance or environmental balance is to make harmony and balance among the two. But maybe human behavior, this submissive behavior or dominating behavior. So this is very important factor. And the Vedic seers, our forefathers, they have never shown their dominating attitude, dominating behavior. They have maintained their behavior within the harmony, that is that Rita, or the nature has own way of manifestation. Nature has own way of manifestation, that is cosmic law, cosmic Rita. Automatic, gradually the seasons, they come on time, and the rain happens, and whatever rain requires for the cultivation, and whatever the heat that sun rays, that was that balance. In this way, Vedic seers, they always showed their submissive behaviors to the nature, because man has that hand, man has the power, man have that brain, man can do anything, whatever their attitude. Otherwise, if he thinks that just I am a part of this universe or this creation, then I have to behave in such a manner with my other beings or elements or fellow men that will be, it will help to make the balance to survive that to survive for all. In this way, so for ecology is concerned, ecology is affiliated to various branches of studies. And environment, ecology and environment, ecology is individual. Ecology means an individual, and the study of that individual means the whatever the around the individual or person. Maybe suppose you are my environment, I am your ecology. This is the just what is the relationship between other beings or things or elements or world with me. Like if we think that the ecological study uh, study can have many branches. That is ecological study on plants, deal with plant ecology. The ecological study on animal is animal ecology, and man is human ecology, and water is water ecology, soil and soil ecology. In this way, the ecological study, that is the interrelationship and interrelationship, means the human ecology, for instances. So that relationship among the human beings, within the family members, within the society, or the one man, the relationship of a single man with another man, whatever is healthy, whatever is it is submissive or it is dominating, then the imbalance creates, means the social harmony, whether it is the peace and happiness and the balance is maintained or not. This is the different several points. So for the ecological study, ecological consciousness, ecological awareness, ecological balance is concerned. Now, keeping in this mind, I think I just make my lecture, my talk clear. First, keeping in mind that ecology, what is ecological awareness, what is environmental awareness, what is ecological consciousness, what is ecological thought. The purpose is to make the balance which leads the harmony or peace and happiness of human beings. Looking at today's means the contemporary problem, the problem of the contemporary age, like the ecology, so far we know it is a scientific term, scientific study, and it is concerned with the practical behavior or experiment. But in our Sanskrit literature or Vedic literature, the awareness is very important. The consciousness is very important. The knowledge is very important. Means the interaction, the behavior, the attitude, the feelings between the two or more. That means the behavior, human behavior, the relationship between human being and other beings. That may be living being, that may be non-living beings. That is a proper, or it is behaved in submissive way or not. These are the important aspects of so far the ecological study is concerned or environmental study is concerned. Consciousness, the alert or awareness is knowledge. We should think in such a rational way, because human being is called the rational being. Those who have some certain rationality, certain knowledge. That's why the behavior should be that balanced in the way others should not be hurt or harmed by our speech or our behavior. This is the point. This is the first point. In the second part of my talk, I just focus on the Vedic literature, because as we know, literature is the reflection of our culture and society. Whatever the problem arises, or what is the chaotic problems we are facing in contemporary age, we always search to the past, and always we look into the past, because how our predecessors, our seers, our forefathers, they have behaved with nature. Whether the same problem we are facing today, they were facing, our fathers we are facing today in then society, in ancient time or not. As I mentioned, the human attitude in the course of time, how it is changing, because the ecological balance, environmental balance, natural balance, whatever we are facing today, balance or imbalance, those days it was not the same time. It was maybe the today's maybe population, the cause of population rapidity and means other problem. But those days, the rishis, the seers, our forefathers, they are very much aware. In this way, while we are exploring the Vedic knowledge, there are different aspects of human behavior. Suppose human behavior, first the relationship between man and nature. Vadatu Santivam. How a wife should behave with his husband, with her husband, with her family members, and a child how will talk with his parents. In this way, several mantras are there. So for social relation, social behavior is concerned. If we look into that only just due to the this is since it is a webinar online, so maybe technical problem or time problem, so that's why I am giving only the that few examples. So for that ecological concern or environmental concern or environmental conscious of the human being, and with natural surrounding being, that natural nature, that is how the climate should be favorable, pleasant for that earth. Like the Vedic seers, they pray to the stars, they pray to the planets, like Sangnu Surya, Sang Chandra, like this. There are many mantras where the prayer of let the rays of sun should not heat much, and let the other plants and favors the day and night, they will very much favorable or pleasant, or they will there will be balance in the process. In this way, there are many verses where the prayers and invocations of the Vedic seers for the welfare and for the balance of that nature, they have the seers, it is found. We come across like from the Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, mainly that so far nature is concerned, we come across that Yajurveda speaks much about the ecological balance, and in Rig Veda also we find, and Atharvaveda also in same way we find. You know that Atharvaveda, that Shanti mantras, that the Atharvaveda 36 adhyayas, they are how, like the Vedic seers, they pray like Madhuvata ritayate madhu kiranti sindhava madhir santosha madhunaktam tusasu madhuman parthivang raja madhudau nahapita madhumanastu surya madhir gava santoshodhi. Means the Vedic seers prayed that everywhere should be that peace and balance. Means that weather should be favorable, the water should be favorable, and that whatever sun, moon, stars, planets, they should favorable, or means there should be very balanced weather. And we know when the Vedic seers, they pray Dau Santihi, Antariksham Santihi, Prithvi Santihi, Apoh Santi, Rushadaya Santi, Vanaspataya Santi, Vishwadeva Santi, Rudham Santi, Brahma Santi, Sarvam Santi, Santi Reva Santi, Sama Santi Riddhi. So like this, the prayer, only because the Vedic seers, they very much aware, they were very much aware that what is the problem, what is the cause of the making imbalance in every points, maybe in social level, maybe in natural context, maybe in flora and fauna context. So that's why they were deified and personified these natural elements. And what is the purpose, what is the intention behind the deification of these natural elements or personification? Because only the obligation towards the nature, as I stated, that if we get help from any person or anything or any being, then we just show reverence, we show respect towards that being or thing or person. So this is the obligation. So when this is the concept of the Indian, so far our culture, this is that Indian culture, the Vedic culture, so far we know, the showing the obligation, in-depthness towards the other being or thing or elements. This is the main purpose. But we never find in other cultures, like in foreign cultures, they are not aware about these things. They think that nature is like this and nature will do her activities, but we are doing our activity. So that's why this is the difference of between the Indian culture and others. Always the Vedic seers, they are obliged and they show the obligation towards that nature's help, because due to the nature we are surviving. If we see the Purusha Suktam, that Purusha Suktam, here the cosmology is concerned in Purusha Suktam. There the Purusha, it is in subtle form, but when the Vedic seers, they think that Purusha is in that material form, and they mention the Purusha is having that limbs like a person, human being. When the concept of the Purusha, the characteristics of Purusha, that it is mentioned in the Purusha Sutta, in the Rig Veda 10th Mandala 90th Sutta, and in Yajurveda 31 Adhyaya, and in Atharvaveda also everywhere the creation. Because Vedic people, the Vedic seers, Vedic sages, they knew the science, they knew the knowledge, they knew the nature's impact on human life, and the way human beings they behavior with nature, there should be harmony. And they thought within their behavior or their thought, their attitude here showed within the harmony of nature. So that's where the Vedic in then society, ancient society, Vedic society, the nature were balanced. The periodical rains, it was coming in on time, and the sun was not much bothering, and the water pollution, whatever the pollutions, air pollution, the soil pollution, whatever the pollutions we are facing today, what is the within the now in contemporary age, the chaotic nature or chaotic attitude of the human being, always it is become the cause of pollution. But those days the Vedic seers, our forefathers, they were very much aware of that. That's why whatever problems we face today, it was the same problem may not the were facing by our forefathers. They were always praised, and they deified and personified, and they the same time they were that praying. And so for the another aspect of that knowledge, that is that medicinal plants. Sometimes medicinal various herbal plants, they are used for medicine, but some medicine, the medicinal plants, herbal plants, they are deified and personified and praised, because the Vedic seers, they are thinking that because of that they are treated their diseases as their enemy, and for that they are just praying the medicinal plants. Oh, medicinal plants, you are God, and how you protect me and get rid of these diseases or ailments. In this way, there are several points, several aspects, several studies, the way each and every behavior, every way of life, how the human being will survive, whatever the necessaries, whatever the needs, maybe basic needs, maybe normal needs, human beings are aware. Our forefathers, our seers, they are very much aware about their behavior and their attitude and the nature's impact on human life. Then if the human being is submissive, suppose in later on we just see in this attitude in Dharma Shastras, they made the code of conduct, like human code of conducts according to Dharma Shastra after Veda, like cutting the green tree, it is sin, and planting a tree is that is punya, like this. So this concept they realize, because the in many cases when the philosophers, the spiritual leaders, they have studied, they are telling that all beings are meant for the service of humankind, mankind. Then there is no harm, but whatever the need and necessity for human being, that much can be used. But human being, the attitude of the dominant attitudes, it was happened, whatever the beyond of our need and necessity, whatever that we are always thinking about selfish attitude, how I will grow and how I will survive. self surveillance. But we should think that when I am, let me happy, let others be happy. Let me be happy, let others be happy. Means in this context, not only within the human being, I will be happy, let others be happy, but in the same sequences, let the human being should be happy, and the other beings, other natural beings, or other natural elements, other natural that animals also, they should be happy, and there will be ecological balance, environmental balance, because the way we behave, that should not be hurt or harm to other elements, that being living or non-living. Then the nature will have that own way of manifestation or own way of functioning, like it will function. When we see that that sacrifice, that is yajna. Yajna is the concept how to make that balance within the nature, because nature has that own way of her function or own way of manifestation. But due to the human attitude, if human attitude is that submissive way, then the nature is balanced, and the ecological balance, environmental balance, and that which leads to survive a person in a proper way, that means in peace and happiness, or will get the harmony among us. These are the main purpose which our Vedic culture, our Vedic literature, our Indian culture so far is Sanatana culture is concerned. So our Vedic seers always behaved in a submissive way, and they were maintained the harmonious relation, and which was leading to peace and harmony among people, and we are happy. So these are the points. The entire Vedic literature, right from the Rig Veda and Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharveda, and in later Vedic periods also, post-Vedic periods also, whatever the things, means that Sutra period also, and that Smriti and other Dharma Shastras, and in later period also, because Vedo Kila Dharma Moolam, the Veda is the source, the root of all the dharma or whatever behavior, whatever the things, the concept of the root is in the Veda. So with this ideas or whatever this is very vast field, because that environmental conscious in the Vedic corpus, from each and every part of that every part of study, it is concerned with ecology. Ecology and environment is very vast and very broader. Like the knowledge is ocean, and the ecological study or environmental study is like ocean. So the purpose and that very purpose of this study is to make the balance within all being, whatever maybe the interrelationship or intra-relationship with human being, maybe natural being, many other non-living being, that balance, to make balance, which will lead to peace and harmony of the human being with other beings. This is the main points which I explore. I state very briefly within this online things, and it is very difficult to give all the instances, examples from various points, various perspectives. So far, the ecological or environmental awareness, consciousness, or thought is concerned, I think within very precise talk, I am reaching at all of you. It is my pleasure, although it is late. Just the beginning was very late to start because you are waiting, but due to this technical error, I could not present on time. So that's why I apologize. And if any interaction and queries, then you are most welcome. And I don't know, perhaps the students and the research scholars and some eminent scholars are present through this online webinar lecture, and I thank all for giving me this opportunity to listen and exploring me the Vedic ideas. So for environmental or ecological awareness, consciousness, or knowledge is concerned, I thank the organizers for your patience hearing. Please, if any query or any suggestion, any discussion, you are most welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Niranjan Ji, for that profound and thought-provoking lecture. Your insights into the ecological dimensions of the Vedic corpus have opened our eyes to a rich intellectual heritage that emphasizes balance, reverence, and harmony with nature. The session has been both enlightening and deeply relevant to our times, where questions of sustainability and ecological consciousness are at the forefront. We now open the floor for the question and answer session. If anyone has any questions or reflections for Dr. Niranjan ji, please type them into the chat or unmute yourself to share directly.
Good evening, sir. I am Vaishnavi. I am currently pursuing history honors first year. So my doubt is very basic, but I want to ask. My doubt is that is it true that all the Vedas that are they develop chronologically? So like, is it true that yes, if we look at Samved, its content is basically derived from Rigved, or if we look at Yajurved, is it content derived from Samved and Rigved? And same goes with the Atharved.
Yes, just it is very basic, common question you have raised. Very interesting. We are very much clear about this concept that the Veda is only the single, the knowledge. The entire Vedic literature is single, but in the course of time, for our easy understanding, it was divided according to the subject or context wise. What you are asking that the division about the division of Samaveda, only 75 mantras, only 75 or some more, 3 4 more, or 81 mantras are new, additional, which is not available in the Rig Veda. The Rig Veda is having whatever the context. Samaveda is borrowed from the Rig Veda or other Vedas, and only 75 mantras. Actually, what happens? Just let me clear. Since you are a student of field of history, the Veda, everything are for that meant for knowledge, and the Rig Veda is having that prayer, praising song or prayer, the mantras, that praising mantras towards the deities, to the natural elements, like Rig Veda. The very word Rig is the stuti, that prayer, that richyate stuyate anena iti Rig. See, Rig, that word means that mantra, but here that Rig has the mantra, Yajurveda has mantra, Samaveda has mantra, and Atharveda has mantra. But why Rig Veda is having the title of Rig Veda? But here the Richyate Stuyate, Arthat, where the praising song, the prayer towards the deity is concerned. That is, yatra stuti karma vartate. Stuti karma, the action of the praising or stuti, that is rik. And Yajurveda is concerned with that practical application for performing the yajnas, that the rule and regulation, the technique of the paddhati of performing yajna, that is mentioned in the Yajurveda, that is specified, that is classified, but Veda is single. And the Samaveda specially is that is the intention to recite the mantras in the technical form. That is, there is a process to recite mantras. That is the swara prakriya, that is uddata, anudata, swarita. So it helps. He teaches how to enchant the mantra, and if the mantra is chanted properly, then the purpose is that we are getting the proper result or fruit of that mantras, because mantra has the power. But that same mantra should be uttered or chanted in proper way, proper method. Then that will be effective. When we are chanting ma, because there is ma from 3 stages of our body, it is uttered. And the Samaveda is giving the knowledge about how to recite the mantras. Like when the Laukika, the songs, when we are chanting, like Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da Nisa. But in the Samaveda teaches how to chant the mantra, Vedic mantra, in the proper ways. Like just since all are interested in the Vedic field, see, when that mantra is uttered, like uddata, anudata, sorita, that which that phonic, that sound or that syllable or that varna is how it will be pronounced, how much sound it will be, whether it will be raised, whether it is be low or middle, like this. Like let me now pronounce a mantra, then it will be clear. Like the first mantra of the Rig Veda, the first Veda, Rig Veda, and the first Sukta, Agni Sukta. Like Agni Mile Purohitam Yagyasya Devam Rittejam Hotaram Ratnadhatamam. So here little bit means communication gap, but that it helps how to pronounce the mantra. Then mantra has power, mantra will give result. So here basic question was there, whether it is borrowed from that Rig Veda. Yes, it is borrowed from the Rig Veda. Only few mantras, 75, and some 5-6 mantras, additional mantras are also there, but it is borrowed from Rig Veda. Please, any other question?
Yes, sir. Sonali ji is asking how Yagya reflect the idea of ecological safety net thought at that time.
Yes, Sonali ji, the very purpose of performing Yagya to make balance within the weather. Like when the Yagya is performing, there that the priests, like the 4 priests, Hota, that Hota, one that priest of the Rig Veda, and Adharyu, the priest of Yajurveda, and Udgata, the priest of Samaveda, and the Brahma is who is guiding, representing all the entire things. They are, whenever they are putting that whatever the process they are doing while the performing the sacrifice, that impacts on the nature, because when the smokes, whatever with the purification process is going, that is good for environment, because it makes whatever we see in Atharvaveda, there is a direct verse which they are aware about water circle. Means water circle means how the water is going from the sea level towards the sky and making it cloud form and shining in the rain form. Let me recite that mantra. Apah samudrat, just slowly I am telling. Apah samudrat diva mutvahanti divah prithivim mati ye mavi ye srijanti ye advi risanah marutascharanti te nu muchan twang hasah. Here that they knew the science, because they may not have maintained the scientists whatever the experiments they are doing, but they, because the nature has her own way of function, manifestation. That's why the water is from sea level, that is going towards the sky level, and in the chemical form, that is cloud form or ice form, and when the certain temperature, that is showering. So in this way, see Purusha Suktam, it is the real example how the creation is making balance. What is then best duty, best karma, best action? That means here in Manusmriti it is mentioned like adhyapanam brahma yagya pitru yagya stutarpanam huma daiva balirbhuta nirjagya atithi pujanam. In this way, there is pancha mahajagya concept is mentioned. It may take more time, but I cannot I can explain this, but it is very difficult to explain within very short time. But so far your question is concerned, that obviously that Jagya is making balance to this nature. Making balance means the whatever the function, whatever the nature's own way of observation. After performing the Jagya, the nature is getting that whatever the that substance or whatever the items nature need, nature is getting, and nature is making balance, and nature is functioning in proper way. So that is I can say within precisely. After performing the Jagya, the nature is getting whatever nature's required elements, things, or that combinations. Then nature is functioning in a proper way, means balanced way. This is my answer.
Thank you, sir. And Trishna Mishra ji has a question that the Vedas give respect to nature and ecology, but also include rituals for animal sacrifices. So, how do we understand this in context of environment ethics?
Yes, it is very nice question and very controversial. But I have written a paper on this, about 15 pages. You see, I have explained that the animal sacrifice, that animal, that pasu, the term pasu. On this, I have written a paper, quite a big paper, 15 pages. And it was very interesting. I presented in the All India Oriental Conference in Somnath, Gujarat. There it was very much praised. See, our interpretation is when we are learning the Vedic text, we should understand the meaning, the analysis, the proper meaning of the word. That's why we take the help of the commentary or that translation, whatever it is just translated or commented by Acharya Parampara, Guru Parampara, the scholars, the Eastern scholars who have realized the context, they understood the meaning, they have given the commentary. Through the commentary, we can understand what is the real meaning. Whatever the meaning of the pasu, we understand and we misinterpreted and kill the innocent elements. That is not accepted by the scholars. The pasu word is not that four-legged animals or two-legged in beasts or animals. Pasu, that pasu is that pasyati jaha pasu. Arthat, pasyati, who can see, because who has the inner eyes, or that foresight, or that tritiya netra, that agya chakshu, agya netra, that is agya chakshu. He is that pasu. Arthat here, pasyati jaha pasu, who sees. Sees means not in common eyes, that material eyes, but in that inner side, in the subtle form. What is pasu? The pasu, whatever the things, beings, elements, that objects used in that sacrifice, that is mentioned by the term of pasu. Means that whatever that water, whatever may be flower, maybe leaves, maybe that panchasasya, that was named by that term of pasu. Means, example, annam vai pasavah, ghritam vai pasavah, jalam vai pasavah. In this way, means ghrita is pasu. That word ghrita Sanskrit word is used as a pasu. Ghritam vai pasavah means that ghee is pasu, and the water is pasu. That whatever dadhi by pasu, that word is there. Then pasu means whatever the things, objects, or whatever that elements used, maybe patram pushpam phalam, that was named as pasu. But later on, the misinterpreters, they interpreted the word pasu means that four-legged or beasts or elements. And in the course of time, because very much devotion towards the God, whatever we eat, in Bhagavad Gita it is stated, Yat karoshi, yadasnasi, yajuhosi, yadadasi kaunteya, tadu kurusha madarpanam. Means too much devotion. Whatever I eat, whatever I do, whatever I think, you just offer towards God. Then whatever you eat, that also offer to God, or whatever is. That's why the people, they who were the fond of that eating the fish, eating the beasts, the places, then they are offering to that. But the Veda, why I am telling very firmly, because for all of the students and researchers, that it is very essential, because this is misinterpreted, that the Veda, that sacrifice, that term is used adhwara, dhwara. The word is that having that upasarga, adhwara means, dhwara means hingsa, violence. Adhwara means ahimsa, non-violence. That Yajurveda, Yajurveda is concerned with that sacrificial formulas, the sacrificial techniques. That Veda, the priest is adharivu, means the person, the priest who makes that makes the karma, which is not having that hingsa or violence, or without hingsa. Arthat, adhvara means hingsa rahita karma. Hingsa rahita karma yatra sampadate. So hingsa rahita karma, without having the violence or non-violence activities where made, that is adhvara. If it is there, it is my observation. If it is the very Veda, that is Yajurveda, which is concerned with sacrifice, that is stated, that is named about hingsa rahita jagya, hingsa rahita karma is jagya, then where is the question of killing animals or pasu? This is very clear. But the scholars sometimes they know this thing, but they don't try to go deep, and they don't want to give the justice. That's why in later on, you see in West Bengal there will be that Durga Puja. You see many innocent animals, even buffaloes, they are killed. But our Veda, the Indian culture, Indian society, so far Vedic society, it is a rich society, rich culture, never thinks about that killing of animals or hingsa. So that's why in Jainism, you see in Jainism, in Buddhism, any other the tradition, never think about the killing of animals, but some misinterpretation, and the pasu shabda, that word pasu is used not for that four-legged chatuspada prani. Pasu atra na grihate. It is not accepted. But pasu means whatever the things, beings, it is used in the sacrifice or offering in the sacrifice. That term was used as that pasu. Pasu means annam vai pasavaha. Annam, that is rice, cooked rice, that is used as pasu. So this is my dear scholars, I just give the message. The pasu, you study and you check that the things, whatever I am telling, my statement. But in later on, in Dharma Shastras and other Griha Sutras, they tell that there was beef eating and fish eating or whatever eating. It was misinterpreted. But in the original Vedic text, the Sangita, see, one more thing, let me clear. The Veda means that the mantra person is Veda, and the mantra Brahmanayur Veda Namadayam. The mantra and Brahmana means that explanatory note on the mantra, that is Brahmana text. That is little bit controversy. So my dear scholars, researchers, you will do the research, and for your kind information, pasu, that is not used as that killing animals. Pasu means that annam, whatever the panchasasya, that is whatever jo, tila, whatever you know, since you are in field. So it is there. So it is clear, and it is a very long discussion. It will be there, and when we will get time, we can make a more clear. But pasu, killing animal, is not allowed in our original culture. But for the taste of people, whatever they eat, they think that, oh, God has said that whatever I eat, whatever I do, I will offer to the God. But you see another thing, if the triguna is there, sattva, raja, tama, sattva, raja, tama. So satika, always sattva guna is there. So where there is question of raja and tama, our Vedic culture is very rich culture, and Vedic tradition is very rich tradition, and there is no question of killing animals, like making violence, because this is ahimsa, that Ashtanga Yuga, that is Ashtanga. Ahimsa is the first yuga and form, or the first division. In this way, there are many contexts. Please, if I am clear to you in my statement, then you tell. Otherwise, when we'll in practical or discussion, we can make more clear with this much. Please, any other question, please?
Thank you, sir. That was a great explanation. There is another question from Pallavi ji. She says that you stated that if we follow Vedic principles, it would create balance. So, how can modern environmental crisis be reduced if society returns to the Vedic principles of nature worship?
Actually, that worship simply worship is not enough. Worship or sacrifice is only just obligation towards a being or thing or a person, giving reverence, giving obligation. Suppose plant worship. This is the thought. This is the idea. Suppose we worship the tulasi plant. We worship to oak tree, aswatha tree. We worship to banyan tree. We worship to bilwa tree, or we worship to neem tree. What is the purpose behind it? Because you see, we are getting help from numbers of way, and to show the obligation, that indebtedness, only that we worship. Because this is the Vedic culture, to show the kritagnyata obligation. Because a tulsi plant, the plant tulsi, you know that utility of tulsi, how we are both the oxygen and the how even night time we get oxygen, others they leave the carbon dioxide, but tulsi never. Tulsi plant observes, gets carbon dioxide, and gives us oxygen. So that's why this is the obligation towards the nature. Worship doesn't matter. This is the obligation towards the nature. Nature means that consists of 5 elements. If sometimes we worship to Surya, sun, because sun has far difference. There is no connection. But the link, the relation for whom we are survived. So the Vedic culture shows the obligation towards the nature. Nature means any element, maybe being, maybe thing, maybe object. Only the obligation. If you are helping me, I am obliged towards you. I just remember towards you. I respect you. I tell, oh, you are my God. You are my friend. You are my God. You are my teacher. Because the way you are helping me, that's why I am obliged to show the obligation. That is worship. Worship is not showing I am just putting this tilaka and doing this and but whatever our our thinking, attitude, means the thing, 3 things, the behavior, that is very important. This is one type of behavior. That is nothing. And obligation. Please. Any other?
Yes, sir, there is one more question from Sania Fatma ji. She is asking how the practices of Sutra period can be practically applicable in contemporary period where continuous degradation of environment is taking place.
Yes, it is also very research-oriented question. Like you see, we have divided the Vedic context, Vedic subject matters. Like when we see the Veda is a single, but so far context is concerned, we have divided according the context like Sangita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishad. But another context is Sangita, Brahmana, and Sutra. This Sutra means Kalpa Sutra. Kalpa Sutra means the four formulas, for context, like Srauta Sutra, Griha Sutra, and Sullo Sutra, and Dharma Sutra. The Griha Sutra means the household rites, ceremonies. Suppose we are giving name. So this is also that we believe that it is coming under the Sudasa Sanskara, because human life, as we believe that Chaturvarga Phala Prapti, that is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. For that, to get that, we just follow that That's sanskaras. Sanskaras means that griha sutras. Griha sutra, sutra means formula. Griha means household rights. Like from a person's that from right from the childhood up to death, जन्मतः अंत्येष्टि क्रिया पर्यंतम, अर्थात जन्म इति not after getting birth. When a baby is coming inside his or her mother, right from that we count, that is sanskara, that is social rights or griha rights or rituals. From that mother's womb, when a jiva, a baby is coming up to his janma, jata karma, upanayana, whatever the things, chuda karma, chaula karma, then antyeshti kriya, janma, mrityu. We just sometimes some follow some sanskaras, sometimes follow all sanskaras like this. So this is Griha Sutra. And Srauta Sutra, that is prescribed in the Srauta man Shruti, अर्थात that is Veda, prescribed in the Veda. And another is Sulla Sutra, that is that sacrificial formulas like Jaga, Jagya, what is the formulas or techniques or rules, regulations. And Dharma Sutra, code of conduct. These are sutras. And obviously, whatever we feel rationally, it should be performed. That is maybe in ancient time, then society, and in contemporary society. See, the people of contemporary society, they are facing much problems. Their physical ailments, they have diseases, they have stress, like this. But the Kalpa Sutras, Sutra means formulas, techniques, whatever helps a human being to survive, to grow, to sustain, like this. The all sutras, obviously, it is helpful and useful. We should not make distinguish, contradict, like this is ancient, this is traditional, this is orthodox, and this is heterodox, or means that modern. There is a similarity. Whatever we accept, that depends on us. See, our culture is the Sanatana culture. It was there, it is there, it will be there. But how much we'll accept, we'll follow. Whatever we'll follow, we'll get result according to that. If we don't follow, then that we are suffering the chaotic situation. That's why the sutras are very much essential for any human being. We may accept or may not accept, but that whatever the system the body accepts, or the social harmony or peace, balance, whatever is acceptable, that is important. And so far it is concerned, it is relevant. But how far we accept or deny, it depends on depends upon us or individual. If we follow, suppose we do meditation, pranayam every day. I used to do the meditation of Art of Living, Pandit Ravi Shankar ji. Every day I enchant the Onkar, Pranayam, Bastrika. I am very much healthy. In this age, I don't have any stress. I don't have blood pressure, anything. So far, the sutras are prescribed. That is very nourishable. That's very helpful. Suppose we see just when we are suffering with any physical ailment, any physical disease, trouble, we go to meet with a doctor, and doctor prescribe and check, and according to that we take medicine and we get rid of that. In this way, that whatever the Shastrakaras they prescribed by the Shastrakaras, if we follow in our behavior, in our thinking, in our practice, then obviously we will be healthy and we will get peace. This is the sutra. Sutra is nothing but only formula prescribed by the Sutrakaras, the rishis, munis, forefathers. Like a doctor, He is telling the modern disease, and we are taking medicine and we are getting rid of that. And this is temporary. But for the permanent or for long time, if we follow our Vedic statement stated by the seers, forefathers, then we will be healthy and we will get the real peace and charm of life. This is my observation. Thank you. Please.
So, the last question for the session. So, Vaishnavi ji is asking, when we read and recite Vedas, Chada is very pivotal. So, please explain what is Chada in refer of Chando Sanskrit.
Actually, mantra has that chada and others. I don't have that much. Means I am not concerned with that tradition. So far, mantra tradition and practically, I realize I practice. I every day I enchant mantras. Every day one Adhyaya from Bhagavad Gita I enchant. Every day I enchant the mantras from the Bhagavad Gita, the Vedas, Vedic mantras, whatever the mantra is concerned with different deities. Because mantra has the power. Because you see, our the phonetical or vocal cord, our body or our sound, the sound has power. Means we say like Sabda is Brahma. That for example, we are chanting that Onkara. Onkara O U Me O U Ma. This three syllable it has that it 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 helps to remove the three diseases, because our body just three parts from that layer part, middle part, and that head part, upper part. That in three places, whatever the diseases, that when we recite the mantras, the vibration comes. Suppose we enchant the mantras like Om, the ma is silent when we are putting closing the mouth and just reciting ma. And ma, we are taking a long breath and we are holding and we are living slowly, gradually. And that bata, pita, kapha, we say three dosa, it removes, and in this way it is it has very good impact and it take care of our body. So mantra has power and mantra is positive. It creates positive energy. Like a person is always keeping happy mood. Pandit Ravi Shankar stated the happy mood creates positive energy. Happy mood always. Sometimes some person they are very tense. They don't smile. If they are very much in stress, but whatever may be, but happy mood creates positive energy. So because body is whatever it is like machine, whatever things required for body, mind, we should give that fuel. So that's why then it will be means normal, and it will make the balance and will be healthy. So the chanting mantra obviously impacts good result and positive energy like this. Other any other question? Anybody?
Thanks a lot, sir. This was so wonderful. And let's end the session. On behalf of Epoch Envoys, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to you, Dr. Niranjan ji, for this illuminating lecture on environmental consciousness in the Vedic corpus. His scholarship reminds us that traditions of ecological awareness run deep in India's intellectual past and can continue to guide us in shaping a more sustainable present. And a warm thank you also goes to our audience for your active participation and thoughtful questions, which really enriched today's discussion. And special appreciation is due to the Epoch Envoys team and to our collaborators at Dakshi, whose support made this event possible. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you all for joining us. We look forward to welcoming you at the our future events. Thank you so much, Dr. Niranjan ji. Your presence was
Thank
very
you.
appreciated.
Thank you, the organizers and other participants for giving me time for sharing my this Vedic knowledge, whatever I have observed. And thank you all, the participants, listeners, audience, and organizers. Thank you very much.